I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your boy TP. Today, we are courtroom hopping into two different courtrooms. We're courtroom hopping back into the courtroom of Judge Victoria Shackelford out of the state of Michigan. We're also going to be in the courtroom of Judge Simpson out of the state of Michigan. We're going to be in Judge Simpson's for an update on one of our favorite friends, and that is Tariq Day. And for those of you that do not know who Tariq Day is, or you do not remember who Tariq Day is, check this out.
So you're going to represent yourself?
I'm defending myself, correct.
Okay, then you need to be here. Now.
Well, as I told the court, I requested a Zoom hearing because I have COVID. So there's no way I can.
In a vehicle with a hat on, no mask. Oh.
I am inside my vehicle right now.
What'd you say?
I said yes, because I'm inside my vehicle right now. I work outside. I'm away from the general public.
Did you go to the hospital regarding the COVID diagnosis?
Excuse me?
Have you been to the doctor regarding the COVID diagnosis?
It's against my religion.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Then I'm going to say, okay, you've got COVID. I want you here. When's our last block? 3 o'clock today. Wear a mask if you're going to represent yourself.
I can't make that. Is there a later date?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yes, that is who Tariq Day is. And if you have not seen any of those proceedings, you can just go to our channel, go to the playlist and look for Judge Simpson's playlist, and you can find those videos there. But before we get into Tariq Day's update, I want to first go into Judge Shackelford's courtroom where she has a sovereign citizen before her. We've seen her deal with sovereign citizens before. She's done well, so I don't think that there's any reason to think that she would do otherwise this time, but who knows? We'll see. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into this proceeding.
All right, Mr. Page, this is 242804, the City of Taylor versus Zachary Page.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Matthew Zick for the people.
Okay, and I have a note on here. The people are requesting the case be set for a jury trial, and the defendant wants to fire the MIDC attorney. Is that accurate? Mr. Page, are you asking to represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm representing myself.
Okay. Okay, you have a right to represent yourself, but I want to make sure you understand this, Mr. Page. You have a right to do that, okay? But you understand that attorneys go to law school and they study the rules of evidence. And if a person who is not a lawyer wants to proceed in a case, they're held to the same standard. You have to play within the same rules as a lawyer when you represent yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Page, I want you to see this. This is the Michigan court rules. This book is the rules that that govern how we do trials, how evidence is admitted, how questions are asked, how trials proceed. And I'm going to assume you've not studied that book. Do you understand that if you go to trial and you represent yourself, that you will be held to the same standard and will be required to comply with those rules?
I understand.
Okay, is there anything else you want to put on record?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
I, Zachary Page, lowercase a-h-a-r-y, P-A-G-E, a living man and one of the people of the Constitutional Republic of Michigan, appearing today sui juris. I am here under special appearance and under duress to address this matter. I am the beneficiary of the trust established by the U.S. Constitution and the Michigan Constitution, which operate as trust agreements. Under these trust agreements, public officials act as trustees and are bound by their oaths of office to serve the people, the beneficiaries. Their primary duty is to uphold and protect the inherent and unalienable rights of the people as mandated by these constitutions.
Okay, all right, Mr. Page.
I
get
have
it.
more.
I know, you can submit it in writing. I've heard it all before, sir. If you want to be a sovereign citizen today, that's fine with me. All right, but we're gonna get through this court proceeding, and I want you to know you're gonna behave at trial. You are bound by the laws of the state of Michigan, and that's how we'll be proceeding. So, sir, as to arraignment, how do you plead? You can plead guilty, you can plead not guilty, or you can stand mute.
Could you repeat
Okay.
the last part, please?
You could stand mute. That means you don't say anything and I enter a not guilty plea for you. So a guilty, not guilty, or stand mute.
I'm pleading not guilty to this.
Okay, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Sorry, I have to go over a few things with you to make sure you understand them, okay? You're
Yeah.
charged with interference with police authority. There is an allegation that on November 4th of 2024, while traveling southbound Telegraph near Brest Street in the city of Taylor, that you engaged in behavior that obstructed or interfered with police authority. That is the allegation against you. This is a misdemeanor. It is punishable maximum by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Sir, you have the right under the Constitution to have a trial by a jury and to have the assistance of an attorney. And you have a right to an attorney appointed at public expense if you are indigent, meaning you don't have the money to pay for an attorney. And if the offense requires a minimum jail sentence, there is no minimum jail sentence on this case, or the court determines it might sentence you to jail. It's my understanding that you have waived your right to a court-appointed attorney. You've already put that on record and you intend on representing yourself. You also have a right to a trial. And at that trial, you have the following rights: to call witnesses to speak for you at trial, and you can get an order signed by the court to require witnesses to come to court. You have a right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial, to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. And if you chose not to be a witness on your own behalf, the prosecuting official may not comment on your refusal to testify. You also have a right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are your rights under the United States and Michigan Constitution. Do you understand what I just read to you, sir?
Yeah.
I'm not asking if you agree, I'm asking if you understand. And is that a yes?
Yeah, I understand.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of our first proceeding. And as we can see, this is definitely Mr. Zachary Page's first sovereign citizen attempt, just by the way that he was reading off of that script and by the way he was like pronouncing some of the terms wrong. He didn't even really seem very confident. And I think Judge Shackelford recognized that as well, because if you remember, she said to him, if you want to be a sovereign citizen today, that's fine with me. So he didn't really have a lot of confidence. He did plead not guilty to the charge. So if we can find his next appearances that are coming up, we will definitely do so and make sure we follow up on that. And with that being said, now let's jump into the update of Tariq Day before Judge Simpson.
Court calls the case People versus Tariq Day.
Michael Gaddius, the public defender on behalf of Mr. Day, who's approaching, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'd ask the court to adjourn this matter briefly. Mr. Day and I did attempt to have contact with each other prior, but we only met this morning, and I need some time to show him the video on this matter.
I had a question.
I said, I knew it.
Probable cause conference.
Am I allowed to speak?
What did you have? Go
The
ahead.
initial competency referral, I think
Yes.
it was back in July, if I'm not mistaken. I went to had to sit down with the doctor at Huron Valley. And this was all in regards to you wanting to know two things: was be competent to stand trial and also to defend myself. Those are two things called the competency hearing for. And that
Kind of.
so I haven't got the results of the competency hearing. If it's that I believe that the last hearing, you said that I was competent to stand trial, but
Yes.
I wasn't able to ask or to verify the second point without going to be able to
Which
defend myself.
second point?
Without going to be able to defend myself.
If you want to represent yourself, now that there's been a determination it's competent, then you can do that.
Awesome. That's beautiful. That's all I need to say. And then also
So what are we doing?
I'm asking for an adjournment because I didn't get all of the discovery and to set it out whenever.
I will adjourn this matter to January 9th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
And last question, who do I get the discovery from? Is that something that gets mailed to me?
You know what? So right now you have an attorney of record. Talk to your attorney of record. Don't be asking me. Thank you.
Well, as you guys can see, that was a very quick update on Tariq Day. He is definitely headed to trial, but a couple funny points in the video when the public defender was walking up, calling himself, introducing he and Tariq Day. As you can see, Tariq Day was not feeling that. Just the way that he was looking at the public defender, it was a little comical. And those of us that know Tariq Day and know about Tariq Day and some of his previous proceedings, we know that he wants to be pro se. He wants to represent himself. He definitely has his sovereign citizen head on. If you have not seen any of his proceedings, trust me, you want to go and see those because he and Judge Simpson does not have the best history. But one thing I will give Tariq, this is not the first time he had to remind Judge Simpson, listen, I passed the competency hearing. You said it was for two different things. That was one, to show if I would be able to stand trial or understand the proceedings, and two, if I would be able to defend myself. And that's what I want to do. So it looks like that's what's going to happen on January 9th. And I'm telling you, with the history that these two have and the things that have happened in those previous proceedings, I'm sure that this thing is just going to turn up even more because now when he comes before Judge Simpson, which I don't know, maybe it's the fifth or sixth time, you can just really see the aggravation in Judge Simpson's face. You can tell he really doesn't want to deal with Tariq. Anytime Tariq raises his hand to say something, he barely answers him. He snapped at him a couple times in previous proceedings. So these two, their history is not the greatest. We saw one proceeding where Tariq was at work and he had the camera focused on the word piss on the wall. So it's just a lot of weird things going on here. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fireworks when it comes to his trial. But with that being said, guys, that's the end of this video. This is Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. Thank you for joining me as always. This is Sovereign Citizens Court once again. And for now, guys, court is adjourned. God bless.